Okay. Hello. I am playing Elden Ring again. I was playing some Horizon Zero Dawn yesterday because I'm very, very close to platinuming that game. I just need to get one more skill, but um, completed a couple quests and wanted to make a bit more progress on this game instead. And I don't remember exactly where we left off, but I think I was well, I mean, I was exploring this tunnel over here, but I don't think I actually explored this area. I think if I remember correctly, last time I was here, I found like a trap somewhere down here and it teleported me up here. So, I do want to look around, see what I just like ran away, basically, when it happened. Because what the heck? He's doing like cartwheels and stuff. Oh my god. Is this away from me? Frog people are scary. Oh no, his shield is not very good. That guy's like a full acrobat. Got him. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna look around here. And I'm mixing up the control schemes between the games now because the button you use to, the buttons for the mounts between this game and Horizon Zero Dawn are like nothing alike, so I'm just like getting all mixed up. Yeah, I've been pretty excited for the last couple, I guess, like days slash weeks because a board game that I backed on Kickstarter is supposed to get here pretty soon. It's called Mondrian, and the premise of it is that, well, not premise, but like the way you play the game is pretty interesting. How do we get up there? It's a pretty simple game, at least in concept. You have like these cards that have little colors on them. Um, each card has like three. My goodness, these guys are so annoying on the horse. I'm just gonna get off. You just have cards, and each card has like three colored rectangles on them, and the point of the game is that it's supposed to, like, after you finish playing it, you end up with a board that looks like a Mondrian, like the famous painter. I don't actually know full name. Do you know his full name? No? Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. The point is that you end up with like a game board that looks very similar to one of his paintings, and all of his paintings, you've probably seen them before. They're just like rectangles with of usually like a solid color, or like a bunch of rectangles. How do I get up onto that roof? And the way you play the game is by like placing these cards, and over time, as you take turns with the other players, oh, it's a big crab. Over time, as you take turns with the other players, you end up with something that looks like a painting, and it's like a competitive game. Oh, that's not good. Wait, I woke up. Wait, that wasn't that bad. Is that all it does? No. And basically, every time you place a card, you put like little tokens on the colored rectangles that you placed. And it's kind of like a combination between, I would say, like checkers and or make checkers or Go maybe, and one of those games where you just place like colored tiles down. I think Azul is one of those. But anyways, the game is supposed to get here sometime in May, so I've been looking forward to that. The game is simple enough to where I think I can play it sort of like with my family. My parents don't speak English. Oh, I didn't realize that did damage. My parents don't speak English very well, so it's kind of hard to play like really complicated board games with them, simply because they have trouble reading all the rules, or like if there's a lot of really complicated mechanics and cards, it becomes kind of like a hassle for them because every time we take a turn, there's like a bunch of stuff that either they need explained to them or they, have to spend a really long time reading the rules. I've tried to find translations for the rules, and that kind of, I mean, I haven't really found a full translation for most of the games we play, so honestly that hasn't really worked all that well. But I'm confident that if I do manage to find, a game, I'm hoping that Mondrian will be that game that's like, interesting, but straightforward enough to where there isn't like a billion rules for the game. It'll be something we can play together, and because they do actually like playing board games, or at least whenever we play together, they seem to enjoy it. Whenever I play with my brother or my sister, though, that's not an issue. Like, we can just kind of play whatever because there's no like language barrier, obviously. Although I guess I am by far the one who is most interested in playing board games in my family, so nobody really ever wants to play as often as I do, which is totally understandable. Be some way to get on these roofs, but honestly, I don't really want to spend that much time trying to figure it out. Another crab. I actually have quite a few board games, but I don't get to really play them too often. A lot of them are really hard to get to the table, and if you're not, super familiar with board games, that just means like, a lot of people when they buy board games, they buy it because it sounds really cool or like exciting, but you also want to get a game that you can, and this is the term again, bring to table, which means, it's not enough for the board game to be fun. You also have to have like a group of people who are actually going to play the game with you. Otherwise, it just sits on your shelf or whatever and never actually gets played. So, I have a lot of board games, and quite a few of them, unfortunately, I would say I didn't think about this when I first started buying board games, are not really something I can probably ever bring to table, just because, all of my friends from who really like to play board games as much as I do, we don't live in the same area, and so I can't play with them, and oh my, these guys are spamming projectiles. And so a lot of those games are just kind of sitting there, but I'm sure someday I'll get to play them. It's mostly just a matter of when I find like a group of people, or if I can get my siblings to play with me or my parents. So yeah, I've been on a bit of a board game spree, I would say, on Kickstarter, and I do tend to get carried away with that, so I need to be a little careful not to just like end up with a bunch of board games that I'll never actually play. Especially, okay, so this must be how you get up there. I just jump across. No, I fell. Oh, no, I didn't. For example, I have a copy of Gloomhaven, which even that one, like when I got it, I knew there was like very little chance I would ever get to play it, but oh man, what if, find that group of people who are as into Gloomhaven as I am. That would be the ultimate board game group, but we'll see if that ever actually materializes. And honestly, it's kind of similar to like, video games. I think this is a more common problem people have. You like subscribe to like some video game service, or like buy games when they go on sale for super cheap, because that's pretty common, and then they just kind of sit in your catalog, but you don't actually play them. I definitely have like a huge Steam collection. Like I think I have 1,000 games, or more than 1,000 games last time I checked. And it's not like I bought 1,000 games individually. I've just been subscribed to the Humble Bundle basically for as long as it's existed. Like literally the entire time it's existed, I've had a subscription. I know, a long time ago they didn't have like their monthly thing, but they had the bundles where you could basically pay what you want. And so, even when I was in school, I could usually, make room in the budget to spend a couple bucks to get like a fun collection of games. And so over time, that became 1,000 games, even though I've probably only played like 10% of them. Although some of the ones I've played, you know, went on to become my favorite games, and I probably wouldn't have gotten them had I not gotten them for essentially like almost nothing. Um, like Binding of Isaac, for example, it's definitely one of my favorite games. I play it all the time, and I think I got that like when it was on like mega sale on the Humble Bundle, or it was part of like some roguelike bundle or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Um, and you know, since then I've definitely played the crap out of that game. Another one that I play a lot that I got from there. I think I got. Oh, oh wow! I like dodged everything by standing there. Ooh, what the heck? I guess got like a sniper. Please don't blow fire on me. Thank you. The now honestly, I don't want to say one that I didn't get from the Humble Bundle, but odds are like pretty much every game that I've gotten has a very high chance of just being from there. Which I guess would also explain why I play so many like indie games and you know that sort of thing. What the heck? Oh no, it's just fire. Okay, guys, everyone's shooting fire. Stop it! Oh, well, they're setting each other on fire too. Oh, I guess that's fine. I don't mind if you do that. Over here, please. Oh. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like I said, I think a lot of people probably have the same thing where you just like have this huge collection of video games that you've collected over the years. And I do occasionally go back and play some of them, either when like, you know, a friend asks me to play the game with them, and it's usually kind of funny, like whenever friends ask me to play games, I can usually just check to see if I already have it, because if it's not like a huge AAA title, odds are that it was probably in the Humble Bundle at some point, and I basically got it just, you know, not for free, but for much less than I would have if I had actually purchased it from a store. And yeah, I don't really know how I got like. I mean, the Humble Bundle one makes sense. I got them because like those games are actually just an amazing deal. But I don't really know how I ended up with like so many board games. I do like playing board games a lot. Oh wow. Oh, I see. I just wasn't hitting him. But like I said, a lot of them I don't think I'll ever actually get to the table. So it's. I mean, I guess it's just me falling victim to like marketing tactics, you know. The recently there was one board game that I backed. It's called Casting Shadows. The ad I got for that game couldn't have been like any more designed to entice me to buy it. Like I remember I took a screenshot of it because I saw it. I sent it to my friends, and their reaction was, "Wow, whoever made this ad made it like, you know, specifically for you to buy this game and no one else," because it was a picture of like a little fox creature in like a hood, right? So imagine like, you know, Kingdom Hearts, like Mickey Mouse in Organization 13 kind of thing. So it's like, you know, very silly because it's like this little creature, but he's wearing this you know, this culty clothing, and he's like standing on a hill with this like crazed expression, and like bees are flying out of his hand. He's like casting a bee spell of some kind. And I mean, yeah, I couldn't agree more with my friends that that ad was basically like perfectly targeting my extremely niche interests of like cute things and RPGs and like, you know, I don't know, just like all of the hobbies I have. Um, yeah, it's kind of scary how. So can I not get in here? Kind of scary how good they are at like targeting ads these days. Oh, I need a glintstone key, right. That's why I couldn't go here. Well, that's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to go in there. Alright, that's fine. And, you know, I'm not the first one to complain about this, but a lot of times they're just straight up creepy. Like, very frequently my brother and I will be doing something, like have some... Oh, no, I accidentally revived everyone. Oh, I'll just run past them. Very frequently my brother and I will be doing something or making some plans, right? Like, I'll need to go to the airport. And the day we need to go to the airport, we get into car, and, you know, the car connects to my phone, and when I pull up the GPS, the first thing on the list will just be, like, the airport where I live, or... I mean, those aren't that crazy, because, like, you know, you get emails about the flight, and then Google, I'm sure, just, like, scans literally every line of text in every email you ever get. Well, I mean, I guess I know for a fact that they do look at some of your email data, since I used to work there, but the, you know, the level of knowledge they have about your life is quite extensive, for sure. Disturbing to some, definitely to me. I definitely think it's way more insight than the company should have, like, into your life. They, I mean, I feel pretty confident in saying that they probably know more about me than I do, you know. And like I said, the map one isn't that crazy, right? Because, yeah, it's like pulling from my email. I probably saw that, like, because whenever you get an email about a flight, Google Calendar automatically puts the flight onto your calendar and, like, sends you reminders and all that. So it probably just, like, pulled from both those sources and was able to figure out that, you know, I have a flight, and that that's where I want to be driving at that times. But there's definitely been some times where it's, like, a little disturbing. Like, I remember one time we were gonna go eat at a restaurant we had never eaten at before. And, you know, it was the first result on the list for that. So, you know, if I had to guess how they got that one, they were probably grabbing it from, like, one of us probably did, like, a search for that restaurant, and by now it's probably figured out that, like, you know, maybe it doesn't know that we live together, but it knows that, like, anything I look up is highly correlated with, like, things that my brother will be interested in, and vice versa. So, you know, one of us probably did some random search or something for the restaurant in the past, and then it knew that we must want to go there, and so it suggested that as the location to drive to. And yeah, this is definitely something my friends and I have observed quite often. Like, oh wow, there's like a whole army here to fight. That's cool. But they all have bows. That's not cool. I don't want to deal with that. But I do want to fight them all. Whenever my friends and I get articles on really any service, like if you you know, the Google News thing on phones that shows up on the side, and also New York Times, or really any of the newspaper services any of us use, we always are posting the same article. Like, one of us in our group chat will say, like, hey, did you guys see this interesting article about, you know, I don't know, like, my friend group that I am talking about, we're kind of like fools when we talk to each other. We're always talking about, like, personal finance and that sort of thing. So, you know, somebody will be like, oh, did you see that article about, you know, the Fed is pulling back on bond purchases or whatever? And all of us will be like, oh yeah, I also got recommended that article, because, you know, it's just recommending the same things to all of us. Oh yeah, I mean, whatever. It's something been talked to death about, just like the amount of information big tech has about us, and, you know, whether they're being good stewards with that information or not. I guess that's mostly oh, what the heck, he just like teleported into me. I guess it's mostly dependent on how you feel about like regulation and that sort of thing. Also, that's the first time I've seen an enemy do a guard counter. That's cool. I'm gonna beat you up though. Me, bro. Come on, do something. You're not gonna hit me? I'll hit you. Can you do something, please? Okay, well, you're just gonna die then. Yeah, I mean, it's also interesting. Like, we do have quite a bit of insight into how a lot of that works, just because, like I said, I used to work at Google. I worked on the Android, on the Pixels, so it's not like I know how Google Maps works necessarily, like at a very detailed level, but I do have like an understanding of like how a lot of the data flows through various systems and that sort of thing, just because they all use a lot of shared technology, that sort of thing. Oh, no, please don't stab me. Oh my god, there's just so many archers. They're so annoying. Okay, they got all the archers. But yeah, it's like interesting being, you know, I think this is probably pretty common in general, is that like some of the people who either dislike technology the most or are the most paranoid about it are the people who create it, just because you know so much about how it works that you know, you don't have that like blessing. The ignorance is bliss definitely applies here. Yeah, you know, I guess you're trading essentially your personal information for convenience. You know, the services aren't truly free. It's just instead of paying in cash for service they provide, you're letting them gather, you know, harvest your information so that they can make money off of it, and you know, that pays for the service essentially. There's something, I don't know who said this, but I definitely agree with it. You know, they say if you don't know, if you're not paying for the product, then that means you are the product. And that definitely applies, I would say, in tech. You know, if you're using something and you're not paying for it, it's probably because you or something about you is being sold to somebody else. So, you know, the thing you're using is not the product. The information they gather from you, or, you know, the ads that they can serve you, or you know, any number of secondary things that are actually the product. I've already been here. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's definitely, you know, an area of like a hot button issue. You know, whether tech has like overstepped their boundaries or not. Wow, this turtle is quite loud. I am definitely one of those people who likes being somewhat disconnected. You know, I don't have like any social media, or well, sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't have any social media that I actively use. I do have like some accounts that people made for me, or that I made in the past for like a very specific purpose, and maybe I used them for like a week or two and then I stopped using them. So like, you can definitely find some of my accounts if you look for them, but they won't be used for anything interesting. I would say that this is actually probably the closest I've come to using social media, just like posting videos online where like anyone can watch them. I think having done this, I can definitely understand the appeal a little more. You know, you're like able to talk about whatever you want and say whatever you want, and people can't really stop you. And I guess the thing with social media is that, you know, lightning, interesting. There's like algorithms in place that I think incentivize the wrong things, in my opinion. You know, like what they show people, or like why they show it to people. That hurts. I want all these plants. At least in my opinion, like when it comes to videos, you know, unlikely that anyone is gonna like find these videos to begin with, and even if they do, it's kind of a one-sided interaction. I say what I want, and you can comment on the video, or I guess maybe write about it in some other place, but I don't really have to interact with someone, or anyone really, if I don't want to. So that is a little different, whereas in social media, people can like message you, and I guess they can do that here too. I don't know. They feel a little different to me. Definitely more okay with this than I am with like Facebook or something like that. All right, what we got here. A lot of blue flowers. Lovely. Yeah. A dungeon. Oh, and more importantly, a lost grace. That's what I was hoping to find. Alright. I guess I'll make the dungeon a separate video, otherwise this one's gonna be too long, but yeah, let me know what you think about big tech, air quotes. It's like the new version of big oil, I guess, but most people I think are willing to trade the convenience it brings for the erosion of like privacy and other things that have happened. I guess it depends on how well studied you are and some of the things that have come out of you know the products that tech has made. There's like I think the most one most people are familiar with, of course, is like all the problems Facebook keeps having. But yeah, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. That way you'll keep knowing when more of them come out. See you later. Bye.